What's the biggest life lesson your 20s taught you? I learned that being in my 20s in no way meant I was qualified to be considered an adult. Most of my learning and life experiences, as well as stupid choices along the way, helped me to really grow as a person. Now that I'm in my 30s, I feel like I'm just starting to figure life out. Think of your 20s as your sandbox for figuring yourself out and learning what you really want out of life. I just turned 30 recently, so I think I'm primed to answer this. But basically, I learned a lot. I learned that even if life sucks, it is worth living. I learned that you can make your life better by cutting out shitty people and shitty food. You should spend money on things you enjoy and need. But ultimately it taught me how to be an attorney since I went to law school. There are a lot. I guess my three big ones are: don't continue to work a job that you hate. Money is good, but if it makes you miserable, it's not worth it. You'll be forever depressed. Remove toxic people from your life. Avoid the drama, gossip and shit talking. You don't need a giant social circle like you had in college. Have a smaller group of reliable, loyal friends and family. Realize it's okay to be yourself. Stop giving a fuck about what unimportant people think about you and your interests. If they aren't fucking you, aren't signing your paychecks, or don't depend on your paychecks to live, then fuck them and their opinions. You're probably never going to feel like you've figured life out. This is a relief to hear. Eat ass, skate fast, never finish last. Have fun and be the best at it. Don't compare yourself to others. It's crazy how people move at different speeds. People I used to know in high school, all sitting in the same classes. We're all 30 now. Some work fast food, one's a doctor, some stay at home with their kids, some committed suicide. You'd never predict who would end up where. It's just not fair to yourself to constantly try to measure up to others and disregard your own successes. Super tough though with the way everyone's hyper-connected via social media. But yeah, this realization kind of started hitting me in my mid-late 20s. This is a big lesson. I was 28 years old with a college degree and I worked a retail job making $15 an hour. I thought myself a complete and utter failure in life because I compared myself to friends who had careers, were making money, getting married, etc. It is made that much worse by social media. A lot of people put on a front, post about their amazing new job, flaunt their relationship, all kinds of things. But oftentimes that is not truly reflective of their life or how they feel about themselves. This is why I deleted my Instagram and only sporadically check Facebook. Side note, maybe you were sad and felt like you weren't doing anything meaningful in your mid-late 20s. Maybe your friends and acquaintances were seemingly a lot more successful. I'm now 29 and landed a career out of nowhere in the middle of a quarantine that is very meaningful to me, in which I make decent money. Now 75% of my friends are out of work with absolutely no idea what to do. Life can change on a dime. I lost both my best friend and my brother in late 20s. Couple years apart. I've learned what matters most, what I want my life to be about, and that we're not guaranteed tomorrow. Appreciate today, now. Bitterness, anger, hate, pride. Life's way too short for all of these. I didn't get to say goodbye to either of them. They were just gone. So now, I make the most of the time I have with my family, with my kids. I forgive when I can. I love when I can. And I let go of things when I can. I don't want to die and have regrets, or have my life just be about business and money. I want it to mean something. Doing a PhD wasn't worth it. I was tempted by a master's but just couldn't afford it. Is it that your PhD hasn't done enough for you in the job market then? I study biochem and it's very competitive, so you often need a PhD to outcompete people with masters. Knowing what I do now, I would have rather tried to gain employment in related fields and be happier, with a lower salary, but better quality of life. Mind you, I'm at the end of my PhD, so I'm kind of sour and pessimistic about the whole experience. I also started in a new lab, which was awful. So this could just be my experience. Failure is a natural part of progress. And as long as you're learning from it and not repeating the same mistakes, there's no shame in it. It's incomparably better to be failing and learning than doing nothing. Start a career before family. People are way too concerned about their own shit to actually care about what you do. Free time only feels valuable if you feel like you've earned it. 1. Don't sweat the small stuff. 2. It's all small stuff. Sometimes, everything goes wrong at once. When you're in your 20s and out on your own, they can go wrong from many different angles at once. Relationship, work, housing, deaths and illness of friends and relatives. I and almost everybody I know had a bad year or two in their 20s. What's the lesson? Keep slogging through till it gets better. I turned 20 last year and this is feeling like my bad year. Hope I don't hit too many more. The way my life's going, my 20s are probably gonna teach me why drugs are bad. The main reason drugs are bad is the subtle changes to your mental health they can create with prolonged use. And the people that are habitual drug users tend to have a significantly lower QOL because of the expense of using them, and the decrease in satisfaction from that lower QOL tends to make them less happy, which in turn can turn them toxic. And nobody wants to be surrounded by toxic people. Source: former habitual casual user. You will have to make very practical, sometimes very cold, decisions about what you want from life and what you're willing to give up. And if you don't make them, then life will make them for you. The paradox of not making a decision is a decision in itself. Very true. Using alcohol to cope with personal issues is a dangerous game. I can attest to that. For almost a year I drank at least a fifth of some variety of hard liquor every single night just to get by. Some of the people I met during that time weren't as lucky as I was to have a friend intervene and help me regain myself. A few of those people have died or are now alcoholics. When I was younger, I thought I'd be happier with life. My 20s taught me I was wrong. I was also taught at a young age that I would have sex. My 20s have also proven that this is false. Blood doesn't make a family. Your family are the people you enjoy being around, not the people you were born into. If someone is causing you issues to the point you dread seeing them or have a physical reaction to hearing their name, then you are well within your rights to cut them off entirely. Regardless of how you're related to the monsieur, never trust landlords. They are your enemy and the courts don't give a shit. I'm never going to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. No matter how close I feel to hitting rock bottom, there is always something to feel grateful for. That's the positivity I needed to hear from this thread. Thank you. Keep it up, pick your battles, and don't hold a grudge over petty stuff. Thank you. I should have managed money better. I'm really good at it now. But goddamn did I waste tons of money in my 20s. Adulthood only gets easier as life goes on. This is something you need to bear in mind. Adulthood starts late teens, early 20s, and therefore it's the toughest part. You stop seeing friends every day like you did in high school. You begin work and understand the value of money and how far it just doesn't seem to go when you have bills, etc. Typically your jobs at this stage will be the most mundane as you gain experience or the older colleagues will get you to do the legwork. I always remind myself that whilst some pretty stressful or tough situations are to come, I've also overcome a fair few too, so just enjoy the bumps in the road and the freedom you have at a younger age as life becomes simpler and arguably a bit more boring. It's okay to admit that you don't know what you're doing. Life is way harder than I thought it would be. Be kind to those who are important to you. They could be gone in the blink of an eye. Mental health issues don't usually just go away on their own. I'm learning this now. I've spent a lot of time pushing through and ignoring my problems. thinking an accomplishment or relationship will make everything okay. Or maybe time will heal everything. But no, once the hard times hit again, they hit like a freight train. And all my problems and deep insecurities from childhood are right there where I left them, monsieur. Hold no tradition sacred. Just because it's been done in the past doesn't mean it should continue. I would temper this by saying make new traditions. Trying new things is important, but doing certain activities yearly because they bring feelings of family and community are healthy. I learned it's okay to feel lost in all aspects of life. Truth is, most people around you are just as lost as you are, though some are better able to hide it than others. It's not about dying for something. It's about living for something. Or someone. Wish I knew what for. Asterisk, asterisk, stay hydrated, asterisk, asterisk. Value your time. Do not waste it. Don't trust easily. I'm a late bloomer, and that's okay. Late boomers unite. I'm 29 now and I can honestly say I know who I am at this point. Any age younger than this year was just trial and error. There's no reason to rush settling down cause your brain is not fully matured until you're almost 30. Take this time to get to know yourself, form healthy relationships, and get that partying out of your system because the fear of missing out is a real feeling. People who could do X if they just tried are sadder than people who can't do X. Some things are broken and either don't realize they're broken or don't want to be fixed. Don't waste your time with it. Just say, I'll come back when you're ready. If it doesn't truly matter, let it go. If you freak out on every detail, people won't know what's really an issue and what isn't. You're going to lose. You're going to fail. You can be 100% right and still lose. Know that going into a debate, argument, board meeting, etc., you can also be 100% in the right and still die when crossing a street. Don't have too much faith in someone else doing the right thing. They will fail you when you least expect it. The only person who cares more about you is you. If you don't care for yourself, why should anyone else? Be comfortable with you, mistakes and all, and make strides to be who you want to be. Don't settle that the friends you have in your 20s probably won't be there in your 30s. I just turned 39 a couple days ago. Your 20s, your friends are so important. In your 30s, your family is the priority. It's just the way life is. Stop giving a fucking shit about trivial shit that stops you doing what you want to do. Don't be bulimic. Don't dwell on things and try and let everyday bad things pass you by. Like the guy who cuts you off in traffic. Don't get mad. Just leave him alone. I'm one of those people who has to have a plan for everything. Speaking from experience, I can't tell you how many times stuff outside your control will mess up your life plans. Vehicle totaled from an accident. Worldwide pandemic. Death of a family member. House fires. The list is unending. You can be doing everything perfectly and life will find a way to throw a wrench into it. You just got to accept it. And most importantly, learn to adapt, cope, and move on. You get better at handling the unexpected as you go. But it is always stressful. Not everything will work out the way you want, but it will work out. Still in my 20s, but I think the biggest lesson for me was that, even though it may not feel like it sometimes, there are people out there that like you for who you are. You aren't entitled to anything. You have to work and struggle for the things you want most. And being appreciative of little achievements toward a bigger goal not only brings you joy but is good for your mental health in the long run. Take care of your finances and your teeth. Better to have 1 or 2 real friends than 10 fake ones. Diet and exercise are important things to maintain. 1. Stop caring what other people think. No one cares as much as you think they do. You will be way happier when you can go out without worrying what other people think. 2. It doesn't matter how many friends you have. It matters whether the friends you do have are good friends. Quality greater than quantity. 3. Stop rewatching reruns so often. I love The Office, but I probably wasted a collective 6 months total of watching The Office hypothetically non-stop. over my 20s. I want that time back. Twice is more than enough. 4. Be nicer to your parents. They can drive you crazy, but there is no one else in this world who will root for you to succeed no matter what. 5. Save as much as possible. Invest in the stock market. 6. Stay as healthy as possible. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.